everybody, and welcome to Kathleen's story chunk number 6 is the Topiaries. This one may take you a little bit of time because there's a lot of parts to it, but let me just give you an overview, and then I'm going to show you step by step how to do this pot down here because this is a different kind of angle, and I think you're going to enjoy this little technique. So anyway, the Topiaries, obviously there's 3 different components. This would be a 9-inch finish star with the half square triangles on the corner. This is a 6-inch star, and these are just like how we pieced them up here with the addition of the triangles on the corners. Okay, and then we have the 4-inch churn dash with the green, the secondary green here. I intentionally had the Topiaries go from dark, medium to light. And this is one of those places where I used the back of or part of the panel as my background. So what we're going to do is you're going to sew these Topiaries and assemble it as per the instructions. You'll need to grab a 6-inch star, a 4-inch turn dash, and a 9-inch star. And you're going to put it together and cut the pieces just like the instructions tell you. It's pretty clear, just takes a little bit of time. And so obviously we're not going to do the applique yet. That's later. So you're just going to have these kind of willy-nilly, okay? And then keep in mind that this topiary is the mirror image of that topiary. I used the same fabrics on each side for the topiaries, but I did change up the backgrounds. So this background is different than that background, just to make it look a little different, okay? All right, let me show you how to do this little pot. All right, these topiaries, of course, I like the way they look, but they are a half rectangle triangle, which is not always intuitive, but I found a way to do this without a special ruler, and I'm going to show you how. Also, if you'd like more information about half rectangle triangles, you can go ahead and watch my YouTube reel about it. Okay, so we have a 3.5 by 5.5 inch rectangle of gold. This is the pot, and then your backgrounds are 3.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. On the right side of the gold fabric, I'd like you to draw a line 1/4 inch in from the edges. Also, make a notch or draw a line 1¼ inches in from the edge, right? So that make sure that that line intersects your 1/4 inch seam line on both sides, okay? On the background fabrics, on the wrong side of the background fabric, similarly, draw 1/4 inch around, and then on one side, go 1¼ inches in from the left. The other side, this is from the right, 1½ inches from the left, okay? And finally, on the backgrounds, this is the whole trick here, right here. You are going to draw a line from the intersection of your 1¼ inch mark to the corner of where your seams are drawn, the 1/4 inches in, okay? You're going to draw a line like that. I'm going to do the same on this side. So from where this intersects, down here to the corner. Okay? All right, ready for the magic to happen? Okay, so we are going to take, and again, this is all in the pattern with the visuals if you need them. And to my non-pinning friends, we are going to need to pin. So, sorry, not sorry. Okay, so we're going to take our background fabric. And here is the wrong side of so the pot's down here and the wrong side of the background is up here. So the right sides are together. And we are going to match the intersection here of the line that you drew with the notch the notch that we made, the 1/4 inch away from the edge. Okay, I'm just going to sink this pin, secure it. And with this one, I'm going to sink my pin right here through the intersection. That's the 1 1/4 inch line with the corner right here where your seam allowances are. Okay, I'm just going to shoot it like an arrow, like Cupid's arrow, and hold them together. And now they are pinned together. Okay, and then with your 2 millimeter stitch length, I'm going to sew on that drawn line that I made on my background. Now, one thing I want you to notice, because this is the part that's not intuitive, is on this piece right here, let's see if I can point it out, you are not sewing to the corner of your fabric. Okay, that would be the inclination. You're just sewing right there on your line. And then when we press this, we get the correct angle. See that? All right, now let's do the other side. So again, we are going to, oops, this is the wrong side of the fabric. And it's really, really easy to get turned around with this. Especially if you're like me, I don't like working in reverse. I stick my pin right there through the intersection. And right here, right the corner of my seam allowances are, shoot it like Cupid's arrow. That means straight in to make sure that's lined up correctly. And then pin it down. I think that was Auntie M's pin. Think about her all the time. Okay. And then I'm going to stick my pin right through this intersection. Like Cupid's arrow. You guys can see that. Straight through. I'm going to secure it. Okay, and likewise, I'm going to sew right there on my line. Okay, and there you have it. So I like to make sure that this measures properly. So it should be 11.5 by 3.5 inches before I go trim anything. And would you look at that, 11.5 by 3.5. Ta-da! So I make sure that everything is good before I trim it. And you don't have to really worry about matching your points or anything. Isn't that nice? Nice little change. And as per the instructions, you would press this open and trim off the rest of that fabric. And there's your pot. Enjoy. It's not as hard as it looks once you get through it. But again, before you trim anything, make sure it looks good. You can always get out Jack the Ripper and try again. But it should be good. All right, I'll see you next month when we do the side house.